NSG community, how are you? So, I was reflecting on a couple of things over the past few days, and one of the things that kept coming back up is how often people hide themselves. And the idea came to mind of doing a video asking you all, where are you? And that whole idea comes from the notion that we suffer in silence. And how do you know you're suffering in silence? Well, answer these questions for me. How often, for the ladies, hell, gender, we're not even going to be gender specific. How often do you feel that you need to put filters on when you're taking photos? How often do you feel that you need to make sure that your face is all fresh and clean and made up? How often do you need to go grab a wig or make sure your edges are laid before you can take a single picture or before you can go outside? How often do you need to make sure that you're growing out a beard so that way you can feel socially acceptable, or go to the gym and work out before you can wear certain clothing? How often do you feel that in order for you to show off how well you're doing for other people, that you have to be out and about and smiling and laughing in pictures? So you go to these day parties and you go to these brunches and you're spending money that you know you don't have for the purposes of trying to keep up, because you are hiding from the reality of who you really are. And then what happens at the end of all that when you're home? How often do you really take a reflective look in the mirror, or to really ponder what's happening in your life before you say, you know what, I'm good, I'm okay, this is a moment, I'm doing what I gotta do? What does that even mean to you? When you say you're doing what you gotta do, what does that look like? Because if it looks like you're denying your true feelings, then that is the furthest thing from what you have to do. If it looks like you're saying, you know what, I'm a little sad, or I don't like where I am right here, but that's all good, and that's all good is not followed by a solid plan to address that pain, then it's not all good, and it won't be all good. You will continue to have that thing fester within you and grow deeper in you, and you'll continue to repeat the same patterns until you do something different about it. And it starts with identifying where you are. So, where are you? And asking yourself, where are you? How are you doing in that space? What is it that you need to help support you while in that space? If it's a good space that you're in, then great. This video probably isn't for you. And the only thing that I would suggest that you do before you turn this off is to check in with yourself to figure out what you need to do to maintain this, and to make sure that this is something that is in your full control. For those that recognize that you're not okay, well then, what is it that is causing you to feel this way? What's happening right now in your life, and what is it connected to? And there are a ton of different coaching questions that could come up, and I really feel like it's specific to you and your individual need. However, there's a couple of things that I'll say. Check in with yourself and ask yourself where you are and what you're doing that's covering up where you truly are in life and how you truly feel. And then find out what causes you to put that thing in place. Because if it's embarrassment or shame, then trace those roots of the embarrassment and shame, because there is where you'll find your point of healing. Because it means that somewhere, sometime back, you ignored an issue that needed to be addressed, and it is showing up and it is bothering you bad, and it's just recreating more pockets of fraudulent behavior on your part. And I say fraudulent behavior because if you're not living in your comfort space of accepting yourself as you are, then it's a fraud. If you can't go out and show yourself and tell people how you're really feeling when you're feeling a particular way, then it's a fraud. If you find yourself lying to others for their comfort, check yourself, because it really is probably for your comfort. Because you are not comfortable with dealing with how someone else may view you or may respond to you if you are in a place of need. If you hear any part of what I'm saying and it's resonating with you, ask yourself why. We talk about building generational wealth. Everybody wants to build generational wealth. So they're out there and you're creating, and that's great. One of the major things that is 100% within our controllable, and it's highly overlooked, is this concept of generational health. Our pains, especially for my fellow Black and brown brothers and sisters, our pains have roots deeper than we really give acknowledgement to. And it's because we were raised by parents who had their own struggles that they ignored, who were raised by grandparents who had their own struggles that they ignored. And then those grandparents were raised by our great grandparents who also had struggles that they were ignoring. And what happens is, come about 3, 4, 5 generations down the line, and then here you are, and you're trying your best. But how you were raised set a narrative that you held on to, and that shaped who you were, and that dictated the things that you hid, and that dictated the things that you pretended to be. And in pretending, it fostered shame. It fostered shame within you. And then you find yourself in spaces where now you're not satisfied with how you look, with your self-image, beyond just looks, but also just what you do in life, where you are in life, and you don't know how to communicate that. You don't know how to express vulnerability. You see vulnerability as a weakness, and so to you, strength is being silent, fighting through it, and calling yourself holding it down, when what you're really doing is breaking down on the inside, because you're pushing yourself far beyond your capacity, because there is nothing that you are giving back to yourself to help keep you going. And I purposely wanted to make this video to point out the downsides of what we do to ourselves, because it's a moment of pause and reflection. And some people watching may not be ready for this, and others may. Wherever you are, you owe it to yourself to figure that out. Where are you? In my practice, I truly believe in this idea of generational health. And so when I am working with clients, I'm always going to the point of what happened to you. And the reason why I go to the point of what happened to you is because what happened to you tells this monumental story about where you are right now. And it serves as a guiding light to where it is that your healing lies. So when we go there, it feels transformational, because it is taking the thing that plagued you, the thing that you were embarrassed about, the thing that you ran from, and it's redefining what its purpose is in your life. My practice is something that I hold near and dear because it is my way of helping to create generational health, not just in my family, but for anyone else that I come into contact with. And the only thing that I ask at the end is that the lessons and the growing and all of the great things that have happened to you as a result of us working together, that you take that and you continue to repeat it throughout your life. And as you repeat it, let that serve as a living example for someone else. I want us to create a space of healing. I want us to come forth with our vulnerabilities and shine comfortably with them. And I want us to see our vulnerabilities not as a weakness, but as the storyline of our truth and our strength. When you push through with your vulnerabilities in the lead, you are pushing through towards real success. And in doing so, it becomes part of your everyday nature, your everyday practice. And then when people begin to ask, where are you? Your response is true to where you are, and your needs are being met, and there is a different kind of fulfillment that you experience in life. And then you'll be able to get to places to where now your circle has become a circle of true support, and not just a circle that celebrates with you and the people that you run around town with and taking pictures for the gram and all this stuff. They become people who are able to support you and point out when you're off, when you're doing great, and will stand beside you in the way that would best support you. I hope that, I think I had a little pause because I had a phone call. But I hope that this message resonates with you. And I hope that it serves as the catalyst for your growth and your healing. And I hope that it serves as the starting point for generational health within your lineage. And your lineage exceeds just the immediate family that you have created or that you were born into. It goes further out into the people that you'll touch. What I'm doing right now is helping to create generational health for my lineage, which is anyone who is watching this video and who feels connected and feels at a point of it resonates with them. If you are interested in having a consultation session with me, I have in-person and virtual sessions available. I'm in the Bronx, which is in New York City, so if you're in that area, we can talk about in-person sessions. If not, then I have virtual sessions, so that way we can connect from wherever you are. I will leave all of the information in the contact space, or in the comment section, or in the video description section, because I'm going to post the same video on a couple of different platforms. So if you're interested in connecting with me, that's how you reach out. I can share right now that my Instagram is _NeverStopGrowing, and I am on Facebook under NeverStopGrowing. I'm on Twitter, and all of that information will be in the comment section, because there are different, it's kind of hard for me to keep up with all of the different names, but NeverStopGrowing is the base for all of it. I really hope that this lands with you, and that the soundtrack of the city was not too distracting, and that it left you feeling optimistic about the ability to accept who you are and to move forward in a better space, in a more true space. I welcome comments. I love to hear comments, and I don't just mean that I need my ego fed. I really genuinely enjoy hearing people's thoughts. And even if the thoughts are, you know what, I just don't agree with you, please share more. I really welcome that kind of thought and feedback. And if it's that there was something that landed and you agree with, share that as well, because there is power in each person sharing their story. The work that I do started from my own stories. It started from me feeling a way about myself and trying to pretend. So my thing was hiding. I was hiding from people left and right. I was hiding from photos. I was hiding from videos. I was hiding from social settings because I didn't feel pretty. That was just one of my struggles. There were many that I had to work through. And I got to be honest, it was through a strong belief in God that helped to set me on the right path to finding out what I needed to do and where I needed to be to help myself grow. Coaching became a huge component of that support. And in coaching, I realized that there is power in accepting the support of therapy. So oftentimes people feel like, you know what, I'm not ready for a coach. Well, if you don't feel ready for a coach, that people are not ready for a therapist. Okay, well, fine. If you don't feel ready for therapy, then meet with a coach, because what we do is that we get to the root of whatever it is that you set out to achieve. Like, we really aim to figure out the what in whatever it is that you're trying to do, and then we partner with you for you to create a how that's going to work for you. And for me, as a transformational coach, I already told you where I'm going. I want to know what happened to you. So you're coming in with a goal, and I want to know what happened to you that's getting in the way of you achieving that goal. And in doing so, we're going deep, and we are targeting the thing that is paining you, that is plaguing you, and we are aggressively attacking that thing so that it no longer is a barrier. And we're doing it in such a way that it's several teachable moments, so you are experiencing and learning and understanding how to continue this for yourself. And what happens is that in doing that, there comes a point where it's like, you need more. And I can't do all things. I'm not a therapist. And in understanding that you need more, then sometimes that more points in the direction of therapy. And that's where you get some real deep healing going on from a trained professional who understands. And I walk you through the process of finding a therapist, because just going and contacting your insurance and picking the first one that comes up is not always the best option for people. Sometimes that can have damaging effects if the match is not right. Doesn't mean that we don't run from these things. So I said quite a bit, and I'm going to end it here and just thank you for viewing. And I ask that you just share the message and pass it along and share your comments. I hope to connect with you soon. If you are interested, you will know how to find me. And in the meantime, never stop growing.